Hey there, dental professionals. You are in for a treat right now because we have got three of the best in the business. I don't include myself in that. I'm talking with three of the best in the business. What business? I'm not entirely sure. But these are three people who've got something in store that can really help you grow your business. And rather than me babbling on, let's just start talking to them right now and see what they have planned, because this is really, really cool. So I want to start by talking with Eleni Kelakos. Eleni, let's just start. Tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Well, Bill, thanks for asking. I started out as an obsessive actress in New York and LA, morphed into being an equally obsessive singer and songwriter, and then morphed into being a very passionate presence and presentation skills coach and trainer. And I use all of those tools with my clients.
Cool. And you help people craft amazing keynotes and amazing talks that they give in front of audiences, correct?
I do. It's one of my all-time favorite things to do, to be blunt.
So that brings me to a question. And one of the things that you can do is help dental professionals who want to speak to either grow their business or help other dental professionals grow their respective businesses. So let me ask you a question. Right now we're in the middle of a pandemic, and you help people go out there and stand in front of large groups of people enclosed in one room and deliver a spellbinding talk. Large enclosed rooms of people isn't a thing anymore, Eleni. It's been in the papers. You've probably heard about that. So why in the world should dentists and dental professionals focus on putting together a new signature keynote, a new signature speech, a signature talk now when it's not really a thing?
Well, Bill, that is an exceptional question during this time. And
a depressing one too.
I've been conscious of this. As a speaker myself, I've been conscious of this. But I'll tell you what I know about this time. There has never been a better time to take the time to put together that signature talk. So many people are turning inward right now. They have a little extra time on their hands, some of them, and they're starting to think about the thing that they've been thinking about for a long time but haven't done. And very often, if they've got an idea or a product or a way of doing something, a technique, I'm thinking of the dental speakers that I love. They have an idea that's been germinating, and they've been wanting to take it and put it into some kind of a format that they can use on a public platform, virtually and otherwise, by the way, Bill.
Right.
But they just haven't done it yet. This is the time. Because at the end of this thing, of this very, very, very unusual time that we're in, we're going to need, more than ever, we're going to need people who have those ideas, people who are passionate about spreading them, to move out into the world and make their magic, share their wisdom, and uplift people with those words, call them to action around trying some things they may have never done before, and potentially help people supercharge their businesses after a time when our businesses have been hit hard by the pandemic. That's why I think it's the perfect time.
Okay, so with that in mind, tell us a little bit about what you've got in store, about the program that you're offering to help people do that.
It's called Build a Brilliant Keynote. And what it is a step-by-step walk where I'm taking you by the hand through the course of a day. 6 hours of me guiding you through a process, a modular process that helps you lay the groundwork, the blueprint, if you will, for a keynote, a signature keynote. The hardest thing for most people is starting a keynote and figuring out what the heck to do with everything they've got inside their head. Yeah. I really believe that structure is key. There's freedom in the form. So I teach the structure and then guide them through going deep as deep as they can within the context of that day, with laying out elements within that structure. And then by the time we're done, they'll have roughed out that keynote. And then the good news is I get each of them for 2 90-minute sessions, individual sessions, where I help them deepen it, make any shifts that need to happen, help them customize it even further, help them develop it even further. So it's my intention is to really teach them an evergreen tool, but also take them by the hand, show them how to use it, and actually, at the end of the day, have them come up with a product.
I got to tell you, that is amazing, Eleni, because as a professional speaker myself, I've spent weeks and months trying to craft a single keynote, and a lot of it's just what you say. There's so much stuff in the head. How do you lay it out in a way that makes sense and takes the audience or the attendees, if it's a virtual thing, on a journey, and to be able to get that in one day, that's fantastic. Okay, we're going to move on now. I want to introduce you all to Lesley Everett. Lesley is, you can probably see the resemblance right there. You can't tell right now, but at 5'1", she has been called the mini Meryl Streep, which is a tough thing because Meryl's only 5'6" herself. But so Lesley is the mini Meryl. Aside from that, Lesley, tell me a little about what it is that you do and what you can offer for dental professionals.
Thank you, Bill. What I do is teach how to build a brand that really differentiates you. And for dental professionals, of course, there's a lot of dental professionals around. Arguably, some could say that they all do similar things in their specific fields, but everybody does it differently. And the important thing right now, as we start to emerge, and it's always been important, but I think even more so now as we start to emerge and we have to get back on our feet, is to really differentiate what it is that we do. What do we do so brilliantly well that is better than anybody else around us because of our experiences, because of our character traits, our application, our personalities, our experience that goes back a number of years? What is it that we do so well that we can differentiate with? And that's in a nutshell what I do, is help people to articulate what that differentiation is in order to build a brand that they can get out there that stands out from the crowd.
So can we unpack that word a little bit, brand? Because I think a lot of people have a mistaken impression. If you're a dental professional, you think, okay, my brand is dentist, or I've got a logo of a tooth with a happy face. Is that my brand? Here's my letterhead. Is that my brand? So I think sometimes people aren't really sure what brand really is in the real world. Can you help with that?
Yeah, and I think dentists are like speakers. I mean, we're all professional speakers here as well. And I think we love to get on with the logo and all the sexy bits around the website and the colors and what does this look like? And should we put that there? And maybe we'll tweak that little font a little bit. We all love that piece. And then we think that's our brand. Well, our brand is a much more than that. And as dental professionals, your brand is you. Your brand is what your clients say about you behind your back when you're not there.
Ooh.
I believe that's one of the most powerful parts of any brand today, what your clients say about you to their contacts. And it's about how you make them feel.
That's really good, because I'm guessing, you're absolutely right. We spend all this time tweaking the logo and all, because that's the fun part. It makes us feel like we're doing something. I'll bet there are very few clients who talk about our logo behind our back.
Absolutely, yeah. They will to what they talk about, and this is what I'm really focusing on right now, and is so relevant to dental professionals, they will talk about how you make them feel. How do you make them feel? And that's what they will talk about, whether it's good or bad, and that becomes your brand. And you ask the question, what does brand really mean? Well, I have a definition of brand, and often people say to me, what's the difference between brand and reputation? Mm-hmm. And I believe our brand is that bold intention of what we set out to do. And we can all come up with that wonderful marketing blurb on our websites and our collateral and our speaker sheets. But your reputation is the reality of that brand. And the reputation will lead to referrals. So really it's the reputation piece, the reality that we need to focus on. If we create a high height to fall from, with all that wonderful marketing blurb and say, we do this and we do that and I do this and I'm the best at that, and then we don't deliver consistently, then we've got a massive high height to fall from. So we create a gap. And I wrote a blog recently that was about, is your marketing budget killing your brand? Because we have so many avenues to advertise ourselves. But if we don't deliver specifically on what we say we do and what we're brilliant at, then we lose credibility. So it's that piece, that getting that gap right, that I focus on, the reality of the brand.
So you're offering a program also, just like Eleni is, and yours also, I believe, is a full day. And Eleni told us really well, like at the end of the day, here's what people will get. Tell us a little bit about your program.
Yeah, it is. It's 6 hours again, 4 90-minute sessions across a day. So with good breaks in between. And at the end of the program, and I'm also offering people 2 90-minute sessions with me, or 3 1-hour sessions, whatever works best to hone in on things. But they will go away with absolute clarity on what differentiates them. One of my skills is being able to look inside the brand and say, this is what the thread is. This is the golden thread of what you do really well, and this is what we need to articulate. So they will go away with that clarity, with a defined brand statement that they can use, they can evolve, and they can start to get out there. And also a strategy and a foundation to take that brand statement, if you like, and project it out there, whether it's social media, whether it's the way they present and bring that backstory into their messaging, whether it's the way they run meetings, work with their clients. All of this brand stuff that we build on with that brand statement can then be projected out there in whatever way they see. So they will end up with the clarity, the brand statement, how to articulate that, and a strategy moving forward to build their brand from. So a lot of that needs a little bit of one-to-one work as well. So hence the one-on-one time at the end to help them really refine the final touches to what that brand looks like, what differentiates them, and then they're ready to go on their way with that, and they have a whole load of opportunities ahead of them to use it then.
That is amazing. I'm amazed at what both you and Eleni can pack into one day. I mean, these takeaways are, I mean, it's like a graduate course in one day of these things that are so elusive and so difficult for a lot of people. And the fact that you're able to put that together is amazing. I can only assume that Mark's going to be a disappointment after the two of you. But let's turn to him now. Mark LeBlanc, past president of the National Speakers Association, who, Mark, I see your virtual background there. Those people have not moved since we've been on here, but there's a story behind that, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Well, it's true. And before I answer that question, I think a lot of people say a lot of things behind my back about my brand. I'm not sure I want to know what they are, but I think I better register for Lesley's experience. But no, in my spare time, when I'm not on the platform, I tend to go on short 500-mile walks across Spain.
And when you say walks, you're not kidding. It's called the Camino. And for a lot of people, this is like a lifetime goal, a lifetime dream to do the Camino, to take this singular 500-mile walk. You did that, and then you did it again. And then you did it again. What's wrong with you?
I'm not sure, but I'm planning to do it again.
Also, you have a shoe sponsorship. You're doing it a 4th time?
I'm doing it a 4th time.
Wow, that's amazing. When you're not walking across Spain, and I know because I've been to a number of your programs, you help any kind of professional. In this case, we're talking about dental professionals, and I know you've done a lot of work with dental professionals as well. You're all about growing your business. And specifically in this, with regard to what we're talking about here, growing your business through speaking. Tell me a little bit about what are some of the things that people tend to screw up when they try and grow their business through speaking?
Well, over the course of time, and I've logged just over 38 years now in the speaking profession, and I'm not that old. I found out at 21 that you could speak and get paid. And I was all in on that program. I went home for Christmas and I told my dad, I said, I now know what I want to do for the rest of my life. And he said, what's that? I said, I'm going to be a professional speaker. And he said, can you make any money doing that? And I said, I don't know, but I met this group called NSA and they're all rich. Now, now, little did I know at 21 what I know today. They're not all rich, but where could a young guy and where could a dental professional, you know, put their toe in the water and have the opportunity to have the kind of impact and influence that hopefully I've been able to have over the course of about 38 years, 10 part-time, and then full-time for the last 28 years.
Wow. So we are in a weird time, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. What can a speaker, whether they're from the dental profession or a professional speaker or anything, what can they do now to gain traction? Because I know a lot of people are thinking, well, this isn't the right time. And Eleni and I talked about this a little bit earlier, that this, you know, I don't know what to do. Do you have any tips for that?
Well, I do, and I think part of your introduction to me, I'm known for a singular topic, i.e. business development. But I've spent the last 28 years positioning myself as the growing your business guy or the growing your business speaker. And I think one way to gain immediate traction and to accelerate your results is to do that, to pick a singular topic. Even if you want to speak on multiple topics, pick a primary topic. And in that primary topic, create, similar to Eleni, create that signature speech or create that signature or flagship presentation. I happen to take the approach of my singular presentation was growing your business. I've delivered it well over 1,000 times, but it is an accordion presentation. I can deliver it.
By the way, when you say you delivered it well over 1,000 times, you've delivered it well over 500 times, but you've delivered it over 1,000 times.
Well, yeah, the first 500 were a little sketchy.
Got it.
It's a good thing I kept going. Good thing I kept putting one mic in front of the other mic.
Very nice.
And delivering that presentation. But getting back to the accordion type approach, I can deliver growing your business from 30 minutes to 3 days or anything in between. And so whether it's a keynote speech, a 3-hour seminar, a weekend business retreat, a 90-minute breakout session, I can take business growth or true business growth from any angle. You know, to your other question, I'm not sure I answered it fully, but to the mistake or, you know, what sometimes speakers mess up on, and I've seen it time and time again. They get the money side of this business screwed up. They create fee schedules that are complicated, and they often charge too much too soon or too little for too long. And one of the greatest things a speaker can do almost at any level with a little bit of practice in terms of articulation is to create a fee range. Most speakers will state a fee, and then if the budget is not there, they start backpedaling and get desperate. And so I spend a lot of time crafting, you know, and crafting the answers to the 5 questions that meeting planners ask most often. And of course, one of those 5 is, what is your fee? And so I work with them to create a fee range that invites more conversations and actually in time will increase your average fee per presentation.
So let me ask you, let's take this into the world of dental professionals now. Shockingly, you also have a program that you're offering, a full-day program that kind of takes what you've just been talking about and applies it to people in the dental profession. Tell us a little bit about what you're offering.
Well, similar to Eleni and Lesley, although I'm thinking of just scratching mine and attending theirs, um, I'm offering a full day presentation on growing your business, and specifically on how to elevate your impact as a professional speaker. I firmly believe, as Eleni shared, there's never been a better time to create a signature talk. The world needs to hear you now more than ever. And I think there are many speakers today who are crushing it out there in the marketplace. Unfortunately, there are too many who have retreated like frightened turtles. And they're sitting on the sidelines, and they've seen their calendars lighten up, or in some cases dry up, and they've become paralyzed. But the opportunities are out there. I have a mix of 4 marketing strategies that I will share, and I work with people in that day to identify their unique mix of strategies that will help them fill their calendar and have the kind of impact and influence they really want to have with the people that they serve best.
And I can just say from personal experience, I've been to a number of your programs, both 30-minute ones and 3-day ones, several times. And I'll just tell you out there, if you want to grow your practice, grow your business, grow your dental practice, help others grow their dental practice, there is nobody better, nobody better. So these are 3 amazing programs. And let's just be clear, these are not happening on the same day. So it's not like you've got to pick or choose one over the other. These are 3 separate days. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit, if somebody says, ooh, I want me some of that. I want me some of what Eleni's talking about. I want me some of what Lesley's talking about. I want me some of what Mark's talking about. What do they do? I mean, what's the next step? We've talked about this, but where do they go? How much does it cost? What happens if they want just 1 or 2 or all 3? Can you tell me a little bit about how, like, just nuts and bolts, the logistics, how this works?
I certainly can. And after this
I wasn't talking to
interview,
you.
oh,
no, that's fine. Go ahead.
After this interview, we'll share some contact information for each of us. But in broad terms, our fees are very, very similar. They're approximately $1,000 for the day, and it includes the specific tools that we will share with all of our attendees, as well as each of us are throwing in the kicker of 2 90-minute one-on-one coaching sessions. I quite frankly, I think it's the absolute best $1,000 that someone could invest here at the end of 2020 and really set up not just 2021, but the next 10 years of their speaking and consulting and training and coaching career. But we did decide, certainly somebody could register for Eleni's, and that's it, and focus on building a brilliant keynote. They could certainly register for Lesley's presentation on building a brilliant brand, and I think they could invest $1,000 with me and build a brilliant business model. In fact, we should have called it the Brilliant series.
I mean, have you come up with the logo yet?
Yeah, I don't know, but we may have it by tonight. But I think, and if somebody's interested in the trifecta, registering for all 3 of the presentations, we'll extend a total of a $300 discount or $100 off of each particular program.
Now, I can say, as somebody who is, I mean, I've worked on keynotes. That's what I do for a living. I'm a keynote speaker. I've worked on branding myself. I've worked with you, Mark, on growing my business. And I can say without any fear of contradiction, there are people who would happily invest $10,000 for any single one of these outcomes that we've been talking about. To be able to I mean, I've actually coached people on keynotes as well. I mean, I know there are people who will invest $10,000 to have that perfect keynote, because now you've got something that you can take to the market. I know people who easily invest 10,000 or more to come up with a brand clarity, a brand statement, and a brand strategy. People who will easily invest 10,000 or more. And again, this is good investment. I mean, like well invested, to $10,000 to grow their business. And for less than a third of that, you're saying you can get all three, including private one-on-one coaching from each of the three of you. That's astounding. Yeah.
I think so too. So what are you waiting for?
Yeah. Well, they're probably waiting to find out what they need to do and where they need to go.
Wait for the end of this video, yeah.
Yeah. That's right. I'm ready to go. Stop talking. I want to sign up. So we're going to have all that information, put on at the end of this. As we're recording this now, we're going to have some, an editor put the information on. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Clearly see I haven't prepared, so.
I think that's correct.
That's correct.
It is correct.
Absolutely.
Well, this is just a great service. I mean, it's a great service for anybody. By the way, we're specifically gearing this towards dental professionals. But as you can see, each of the three umbrella skill sets, having a killer keynote speech, having clarity with your brand and how to use your brand, and growing your business, can apply to anybody who wants to, who is in business for themselves. Small entrepreneurs, small like Lesley, 5'1".
And a half, don't forget the half.
Oh, okay, sorry, I forgot about that. So if you're listening to this and thinking, well, I'm not a dentist, is this worth it for me? I promise you it will translate. It's specifically geared towards dentists and dental professionals, hygienists, admins, front office people. But the skills are universal. The skill sets are universal. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn there. Does that
That's
sound right?
absolutely true. Evergreen and universal is the way I look at it. So come one, come all is the way I think of it.
They fit together very well. They're an obvious like jigsaw, all three pieces for really taking your business to the next level. And that's why we wanted to do this today, is to illustrate how those three topics really just go so well together and really sit at the core of any business today.
Well, it kind of seems like a no-brainer. And if there's one thing I know, it's having no brain. So I think it sounds fantastic. Thank you all three for being here and giving a little clarity about about the possibilities that are out there, even right now in this weird time that we're all living in. In fact, maybe even especially right now in this weird time that we're all living in. The three things that you are offering are invaluable, and just thanks for making yourself available. And I know that all three of you charge vastly more than this for what you normally offer. So this is a real service. So hey, if you're out there, if you're thinking about it, please check it out. I promise you it's worth your while.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.